Today, as this is the last lecture, overall in this lecture, what we have to cover, that's the major part one here is unsteady state open system energy balance. So up to here, when we started the energy balance, initially you were introduced with diurnal energy balance, then we applied the energy balance equation on closed system, and in closed system the major which we discussed that was unsteady state, and at the end you were just told that when there is a steady state what does that mean. And after that I told you that the major chemical engineering system, they involve open system. Open system means materials flow in and out of the equipment. So most of the application which you will come across include open system. And in an open system, the one which is commonly used is like steady state, while the other system, some of the equipment they can involve like unsteady state. So this was already covered yesterday in the lecture before yesterday. So in two lecture this topic was covered, and also we solved some problems related to this system. So today we will cover this quickly on steady state system. I will introduce you what will be the actually change in equation of open system which you already studied for steady state. So when you have to apply it for unsteady state, what is the major change? And I will just go through some statements. We are not going to solve these main problem related to this. I will tell you the reason regarding that. And then there is something which we started yesterday actually at the end of the open system when you were solving open system problems. In those systems you saw that some problem were related to steam and water, and something we call specific enthalpy was being used there. And yesterday I told you that okay, let's write the specific enthalpies as they are given, but if you have to look at those from where you can find. So I actually started briefing you about something vapor, saturated liquid and that stuff. So we will come back to that point again, but before that let's start with this unsteady state open system energy balance. So first of all, let's look at those systems which are unsteady and they are open. For example, here two systems are provided. Let's look at the first example. What you can observe, can anyone tell here? This first
Open
picture.
system.
Semi-batch
Okay, it is
process,
open system, but what is this like? What do you observe?
semi-batch process.
सर
Yes,
इसमें वाटर ऐड
some
हो रहा है रिमूव नहीं
okay.
होगा
This, yeah, you can call semi-batch
As
process if you can. I mean, just classify. But this is simply open system because we are not concerned about that at the moment. Yes, the actually unsteady state. I mean, open system are. I mean, sometimes they can be continuous, but here the example which we are gonna discuss specifically, they are like semi-batch. In that, actually, in open system, material is flowing inside. So here in this first example, you can see that there is some water tank and you are filling, either it can be water or any other liquid, so that is being filled and it is not being withdrawn from this. So what, why can we say it is unsteady state system with respect to material balance?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it steady? Yes. Why reason? Kindly just summarize it for others.
Water is entering, but it's not going out.
So input
Yeah,
is equal to
it,
output नहीं है.
exactly, its amount will start accumulating inside this vessel because it is just only getting in, it is not moving out of this system. So at the other side, let's look at the other example which is one shown here is the crystallizer. Although this is again a bit complex equipment as compared to the things which you have already seen. So in this, let me tell you, there is a feed, and you guys know, I think, what does crystallizer mean? Okay, you know that if, for example, you have NaCl solution, that is, mean NaCl was dissolved in the water in the large amount, and now we want to crystallize, mean like the sodium crystals from that water. So what we do, we just bring it in some vessel, in which what you can do, you can just means from here by any means, by heating or by applying the vacuum, you can remove the water from that solution, so that at the end of the day water is removed and you can get crystals out of this system. So this system actually, such kind of system are operated like somehow in semi batch, how like for example feed is entering in this system, and out of that feed you are removing the water vapor, but you keep it like for some time. You know, whenever, I think you know this from earlier concepts, that when you want to crystallize something, does it take place like in a second or two, or it takes some time?
Sir, it takes time.
Takes
It
time.
takes time.
Yeah, good. It takes time. So due to this reason, we are considering it as an unsteady state system, because you keep on filling the feed and you have to give it some time. Then when crystals are formed, you have removed the liquid, you have separated that, and then you can just take them out. Then again you enter the feed. So this becomes something like unsteady state system. So in such kind of system, how to apply the material balance? So before I jump towards the equation, these are actually just to give you again the idea of unsteady state system. Already you know that some of those unsteady state system are those in which, like up to here, which you already studied. For example, this speed is 100 liter per hour, and out of this something is going at 90 liter. In that case, you were told that like here some accumulation will take place. But in these specific example which are given, are shown here, or which you will come across inside, only inlet is taking place, nothing is going out at the moment. Yes, after some time definitely you will empty this tank. For example, any reaction takes place or any product is formed. Similarly, when crystals are formed, after some time you can withdraw them. So in these kind of system, if you have to apply the energy balance, so first of all, as when you look at the journal energy balance equation, which was something accumulation is equal to input energy due to input stream minus energy due to output streams plus generation minus consumption. This journal balance equation which you earlier saw when we started with this energy balance. So out of this generation and consumption, because we are not talking about the reacting system, so these are just omitted always. So you remember that then we just take accumulation is equal to input minus output. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
And accumulation, I already told you, accumulation is actually equal to input minus output. But here actually accumulation is the difference. Here, what does energy accumulation mean? Difference in the energy content of the system from, for example, time 1 to time 2. For example, I told you that you just bring something inside, and if you want to check that in 1 hour, in 10 minutes, in 1 minute, how much difference was in the energy of the content of the system. Content of the system means anything which is available in the system. Like if I want to see, for example, here initially there was 5 liter of water. Now I am filling more water here, and after 1 hour I want to see that how much energy is accumulated inside the water, which is overall here after 1 hour. Initially 5 liter of water was there. I keep on adding water for 1 hour, and after 1 hour if I want to check the energy content of this, so definitely they should have increased, because we are adding energy in the form of this material which will be carrying any energy in the kinetic potential internal energy form. Maybe at the same time some heat can get in or heat can get lost. So in these systems, if you want to write the journal equation for energy balance, then what should be that equation? Is it okay to write this equation that accumulation is equal to input minus output?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah. Why no? Can you answer? Anyone who said no,
The
please
kinetic
elaborate.
energy और potential energy.
बच्चे अभी जस्ट थोड़ा सा हौसला, मैं जस्ट ये कह रहा हूँ जर्नल एनर्जी बैलेंस इक्वेशन अनस्टेडी स्टेट सिस्टम के लिए क्या होगी? By the way, just I hope every one of you have already repeated the lectures which we have already done in the last few days. So do you remember this equation? Anyone who said no? This is for steady state. In steady state, accumulation is 0, so input is equal to output. Simply, basically, this is equation: input minus output is equal to 0. Does anyone has any issue with this equation? No.
sir.
So
No,
input
sir.
minus output is always equal to 0 for steady state system. Now we are talking about unsteady state, and in unsteady state accumulation takes place. So in order to consider that accumulation, your equation will be like accumulation is equal to input minus output. The same general equation, we can't just skip any terminology, either it is input, output, or accumulation. So hello, who said no? Are you satisfied now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this accumulation is equal to input minus output will be the equation. So accumulation means change in the amount of energy. Already you know accumulation from the mass balance, that accumulation is change in the amount of mass, but here is energy, so change in the amount of energy. Just emphasize on this, inside a system, mean anything which is inside the system, what is change in its amount of energy. And input, you know that input is similarly like input will be coming in the form of our open system. It comes in 5 forms. And what are those 5 forms? Kinetic energy, potential energy, and internal energy, as well as there can be the heat and work. So these are the 5 forms in which energy can get into the system in open system, and that will be of input streams. Like input stream will be carrying kinetic, potential, and internal energy. And you know, for heat and work, there is not necessary for any stream to exist. Heat and energy move even within closed systems. You already know that. And that similarly, if you look at the output, so output is also like transfer of energy out of the system. So why I ask you to just repeat the lectures, let me go back to the closed system just to show you few things, then I will come back to here that how energy is stored inside open system. So do you know this? What was this closed system energy balance and this equation? So in closed systems, you know that energy can get into the system or can leave out of the system in which forms?
Sir, work or heat? Heat and work.
Yeah, it can only come into the system or out of the system in the form of heat and work in the closed system. And okay, next question. How energy is stored into any system? In which forms?
Internal energy. In the form of
Yeah, there is the 3 forms: kinetic, potential, and
potential
internal.
energy. Yes, sir.
All three. This again and again I'm saying this because this was very necessary. If anyone didn't repeat, definitely at some point they will be creating trouble for me. So here initially you were told that like this term is accumulation. This term, that's final system energy minus initial system energy. System is that inside the vessel, anything which is inside the reactor, anything which is inside that vessel. So that energy content change. So initially if their energy is like initial kinetic, potential, and final energy, and then at the like time 2 at the end, so if you take their difference, this will be the terms for accumulation, like change in the content of energy, either of the system, either in the form of internal, kinetic, or potential. And then mean energy transfer, as you told that energy transfer in closed system is only in 2 forms, Q plus W. So here we wrote then final equation that this accumulation is equal to Q plus W, and this was for closed system, and this is energy balance of unsteady or steady.
Unsteady.
Steady.
Unsteady, because we are seeing here something called accumulation. So accumulation is in the form of change in internal energy or change in kinetic or change in potential, or all three can be there. So that is equal to like change in all these 3 energies, because you remember that energy is only stored either in the form of kinetic, potential, or internal energy. It is not stored in the form of Q and W. They are being used here for only transfer. And why there is not like term of kinetic, potential, and internal energy on this transfer side, like input minus output, this Q plus W, you know, for this equation, which is general equation for this accumulation, is equal to input minus output, and we are writing only like this for input minus output only Q and W. Why we are not including on this side like kinetic, potential, and internal?
Because
Who
mass
will
is
answer?
not. Because
Yeah, good. It's because mass is not being transferred, and this is all already mass which was available inside your system. These are those energies, change in those energies. So this was balanced for like closed system. Similarly, when we jump towards now open systems, so in open systems, here you were introduced with the equation that like input is equal to output, and then I told you that input and output are in the form of like all five energies. I just talked about that in the earlier slide. So you know that after this we just derive this equation and reach to this final conclusion. I'm just repeating the previous things for some reason. So just you remember this. We derived this equation, I think, in the previous lecture. So if I wanna write it like input minus output is equal to 0, can you rearrange this equation for me? I am saying because this equation was like input is equal to output, and then we took this form, and then finally we reach to this conclusion for this equation, and I ask you guys to like derive in your register when you go back home in after lecture. So can you just someone can tell me what will be the shape of equation if I write it in the form of like input minus output is equal to 0, this final equation? So no issue, just you can, what you can do is this, I mean, simply what we have to do, we have to we have to just combine both the terms of input and output, and that will be equal to 0. And if you look at this final terms here for del x, del k, del p, this is output minus output, output minus input. So overall these are already output minus input, and this q plus w already it was told that either q is in, out, you have to accommodate in this q term like net heat transfer, network. So overall you can write this equation as q plus w minus these all terms we can take to the other side of the equation and can make it equal to 0. Is it okay to write it like this? I think there is no issue. We can just write equation in any form. For example, q plus w minus all these terms, that is equal to 0. So that 0 is showing that like here accumulation is equal to 0. If I just write this equation, output minus input is equal to 0, is there any problem to write it like this? No guys, there is no problem. You can write any equation in any other form. Yeah, good. So here q plus w minus we can write it like this, and that is equal to 0 is showing that there is no accumulation. But now when you will jump, let's come back to that point from where we started, that for like open system. Now here our equation, if it is on steady state system, this side is equal to 0. So only we have input minus output is equal to 0. But for accumulation, like here when you have accumulation, so this side of the equation will have any form, anything you have to write. And as I told you that accumulation is change in the amount of energy inside any system. So if we have to write something now accumulation in any mathematical form, so I think as I have shown you for closed system, you can write that in which form this accumulation can be represented. So accumulation takes place in which form? In the form of change in kinetic, internal or potential energy of the system contents, not something which is getting in or out. That is of the system content. If they have just increased after some time, definitely they will be increases. If they have decreased, definitely that will be included. So let's look at this equation for this. For these, difference, as I mentioned here, like different from the steady state in this unsteady state system. If we want to look at the difference from steady state, is that here energy is stored inside the system. So it's mean we have to include, we have to consider accumulation term. So when you are going to include accumulation term, then here actually as per previous slide, that was something accumulation is equal to input minus output. And for open systems, if I just write equation for input minus output, this is the equation side. I think you guys can see q plus ws, which I was just showing you in some previous slide, minus change in enthalpy, change in kinetic energy, and change in potential energy. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Everyone is clear about this equation. This is that same equation of open system which was being used for steady state. If I just hide this other side of the equation, which is left hand side. Now on the left hand side, what I wrote here is delta E inside, change in energy of the content which are inside the system, and that term represents accumulation. It is just written here, it is accumulation. So in accumulation, like accumulation takes place either in the form of change in internal potential or kinetic energy of all that content which is available inside your system. Now inside mean, again let me go back here and show you. Like if I as I said earlier, that's for example, if in this tank initially there were 5 liter of the water, now you are filling like more water for 1 hour, and let's say we have filled like 10 liter of water, more 10 liter of water in this tank after 1 hour. So initially it was 5 liter, and that 5 liter of water will have this mean like some energy that will be in the form of kinetic potential and internal energy. And now you want to see its energy of all these contents after like 1 hour, when it has become totally 15 liter. Initially it was 5 liter, we have filled 10 liter in 1 hour. So now we will be looking at energy content of that 15 liter, and that energy content of 15 liter here is considered as the accumulation. And in that case, this energy accumulated is equal to these terms, that is actually coming into the system. Change in this energy will be taking place in the form of heat added to the system, work done or work done by the system, heat added or removed both, shaft work done or done by the system or done by the surrounding, as well as like change in the enthalpy, kinetic energy or potential energy in the form of all those streams which are coming into the system, which are entering into the system, or maybe all those which are leaving out of the system, because this is delta, and you know this delta represents mean output minus input, output minus input, and this also output minus input. Okay. So when you look at these equation, by the way, this equation is finalized, mean we don't have to go for its derivation. Derivation already we have done for steady state open system. So this is unsteady state. The only difference is here that new term will come in the form of delta E inside, that is accumulation. And if I just compare it with the closed system, if some of you are confused, so here just look at the closed system equation. In the closed system equation, this term is delta E, like change in the internal energy plus change in kinetic plus change in potential, that we generally represent in the form of delta E inside, and that is equal to Q plus W. Actually the difference here from the closed system and open system is that, like as already you guys told me, that this equation which I'm just showing you, this is for closed system unsteady state. Now if this system become steady state, closed system, this is closed system, and if I make it open system, so what will be the change in the equation? Here some other terms are appearing which you can see there, that is change in enthalpy, change in kinetic, and change in potential energy. So that is just only appearing, otherwise this equation is similar like the equation for closed system. So here that same thing. Overall I want to tell you here two things, because there is something delta E, and delta E is actually equal to this change in internal energy plus change in potential energy plus change in kinetic energy. So when accumulation takes place, accumulation can only take place in these three forms, and you know that internal energy actually is related to like interaction between the molecules, that is usually represented, which you can see in the form of increase in temperature, decrease in temperature, like this change. Then potential energy is related to change in the height, and this kinetic energy is related to change in like for example velocity change is taking place, so in that case that will be accommodated. So in this delta E, this delta mean, just look at these terms kindly, mean this is final minus initial in time and applies to inside content of the system. Actually I'm emphasizing again and again on this because some of you can get confused. This delta E is for inside content, and due to this I have shown you this diagram again, like if initially it was 5 liter, now it has become 15 liter. So what are changing in its heat content, that is related to this term delta E. And yes, what was coming in, that is accommodated here, water which was coming in, if you want to look at it, how much energy it was carrying, that will be calculated here in this system. So, and if heat is added or lost or work is done, or that will also be included. So that delta here with the delta H, delta P and delta KE, in this delta mean out of the system minus into the system pertaining to the fluid flows. Fluid flows mean all those streams which are getting in or getting out of the system. If you go back to that slide of the open system which was steady state, so in that case you have seen this delta H was mean difference between the output streams minus energy of input stream. Similarly, kinetic energy of output stream minus kinetic energy of input stream. So that's the main final equation which you can use for these system when they become unsteady state. Clear? If you guys have any question, please let me know. Otherwise, I think just you have to remember this final equation. Already you have done derivation for this when we considered only steady state open system. The only difference here, if it is unsteady state, then energy will be accumulated inside this system, and that accumulation is in the term of delta E, and delta E is like something here, that is sum of all these three which you already did for closed systems. Hello, any question? Okay, good. If it's clear, so kindly revise it later on. Just go through this. I will just show you the problem now. If how problem appear, or what will be the difference from the problem which you have already seen for steady state open system. So let's read it. Here is a system which is shown in the diagram, but let's read first the statement. For 10 minutes, 10 pound of water at 35 degree Fahrenheit flows into the 125 cubic feet insulated vessel. So what does this mean, insulated vessel?
No heat change.
Sir, adiabatic. Adiabatic
Yeah,
process.
so
heat
it will be
change.
adiabatic. So what does that mean? Will there be any Q term here, or Q become equal to 0?
Sir, Q equals to 0.
Q is
Yeah,
equal to
so
0.
because
Zero हो
adiabatic
जाएगा.
system, there is no heat exchange in the form of like temperature difference. So this is like insulated. Q is equal to 0 in this question. Okay, and he told us that you add 10 minutes 10 pound of water which is available at 35 degree Fahrenheit and in a vessel which has overall volume of 125 cubic feet. Okay, that initially contain mean this vessel in which water is entering, that initially contain 4 pound of ice. Already there was 4 pound of ice in this at 32 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, next, to heat and mix ice and water, this water which is entering in the form of liquid and ice which was already solid here, in order to mix these and as well as to provide heat for mixing, so 6 pound of steam at 250 degree Fahrenheit and 20 psia are introduced. So another stream you can see from the bottom here, like that that is entering, which is steam, and you introduce 6 pound of steam into the system. So what is the final temperature in the vessel after 10 minutes? You are asked to find that. For example, initially it was ice at 32 degree Fahrenheit, you introduce the water which is at 35 degree Fahrenheit, and steam is introduced at some specific pressure and temperature. So you are asked to find like what is temperature. So first of all, is it steady state or unsteady state?
Unsteady.
Unsteady.
Yeah, can you tell me the reason why? And what is the difference from the
Temperature
problem
change हो
which we
रहा था.
saw? Temperature, actually, first of all, initially it is in the form of material unsteady state. Yes, temperature will be changing. So that's fine. But first of all, related to material, just compare it in the form of material inlet, mass inlet and outlet. So is it steady state or unsteady state?
Unsteady.
सर अनस्टडी
Yeah,
इसलिए है कि
it is
इन होता है और
unsteady.
आउट नहीं होता सर.
Yeah, good. Only things are getting in, water is getting in, steam is getting in, as well as ice was there, and nothing is leaving out of this. So due to this reason, it is unsteady. And whenever it is unsteady as well, it is open or closed system. Guys, it is open system.
Open, sir.
Because streams are getting in closed system,
open
no
system.
material stream is there. Yes, because here water and steam are entering. So overall, this is like open system, and it will be now open, unsteady. Already we have discussed how it is unsteady as well as open. So in the form of energy content, it will already when it is like unsteady in form of material, automatically that system becomes unsteady in form of energy. Why? The reason is like things are getting in only, they are not leaving, so they will be not carrying energy out of the system and energy will be accumulated here. Understand? So in such question, to solve these problems, you have to apply this equation. Okay. So now, if we want to apply this equation, just mean we are not going to solve, and I will tell you after one question. And there is another example. If you want to apply just this equation, top equation, you will be applying here. So in this, yes, if we want to simplify this equation, suppose we have to solve this problem. So can you tell me which terms will be omitted first of all? First of all, okay. First of all, left hand side, delta E inside, will we include it or not? Yes, we will include it because this is accumulation term and here accumulation is taking place, so we can't omit this. Next, what about Q?
Cancel.
Okay, yes, because he said this is adiabatic, so sorry, insulated, so that was adiabatic. Q is 0. What about shaft work? Is there any shaft work taking place here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, nothing. He didn't mention any moving part, no shaft work. He didn't tell in the statement. So overall, there is no shaft work. Okay, next, when the streams are getting in, they will be having some, let's look at delta H. Delta H is like difference between the output stream minus input stream. So input streams are there. Either input streams are there. Yes, there
Yes.
are two input streams.
Output
And
stream.
what about output streams? What about output streams?
नहीं. Output
There is
no,
no
sir.
output stream. So here we can write, okay, delta H, but it will only include input streams. So output are 0, so it will be 0 minus like only input stream del H, HMRH, how you calculate it. Okay, next there is a change in kinetic energy of the streams. So change, first of all, because in all these three terms, there is no output stream. So for change, you know that this is output minus input. So output terms are already 0 for all these three. Yes, we can look at the input streams, but he didn't mention anything related to kinetic and potential energy as well. So those terms will also become 0 for this system. Only H term and delta E terms are remaining. At the end of the day, you can just proceed with this, but don't solve it. Just I was telling you how to apply the equation. Next, just let's go through this statement quickly. Steam at 250 degrees C, saturated. This is saturated steam. We have already discussed it somehow. If you remember from yesterday's lecture, I will also repeat it. But can anyone tell me what does this mean? Saturated.
Liquid at its boiling point.
Yeah, I mean this is steam, so it is
100
in the
degrees
form
C.
of vapor. Yes, vapor at its boiling point or saturation temperature. Good. So steam at 250 degrees C means just evaporated. We didn't superheat it, so it is at 250 degrees C saturated, which is used to preheat a fermentation baths. Fermentation bath. So here fermentation is taking place somewhere, and if you look at the diagram, I think you can see the diagram. So we are just introducing steam so that we can heat that segment where this fermentation takes place. Okay, this steam saturated enter the steam chest. There is some specific portion, separate portion, which we are calling steam chest, in which they are like you are providing the steam. The steam is segregated from the biomass solution in the preheater. So overall, he wanna say here like that in this system we are not mixing the steam with the other content, which we is calling biomass solution. So just steam, as you can see from the diagram, steam is just moving inside some coils inside the closed system. And completely condensed inside this steam chest. So overall, when steam enter into this system, it was in the form of vapor, it was steam, so it will be condensed, and when it is condensed, it become liquid. So the rate of heat loss from the surrounding, as you can see from the diagram, he said that if you just draw the boundary of the system, there is some heat loss of 1.5 kilojoule per second. The material to be heated, material actually which we want to heat with the help of steam, is getting in as a 150 kg of biomass. Material to be heated in the vessel enters at 20 degrees C and is at 45 degrees C. What does this mean? He wanna say that material which you want to heat, initially its temperature is 20 degrees C, and when it gets in, it reach to the 45 degrees C. Why? Because you are providing heat with the help of steam. If 150 kg of biomass with an average heat capacity of Cp is equal to this flows into the process per hour, how many kilogram of steam are needed per hour? So first of all, just one thing here, steam is like only heating media that is getting in and out in a closed system that has no contact with the biomass solution. This he has provided. So what about biomass here? Either in the case of biomass, this system is steady state or unsteady state.
Unsteady state.
Why? G, why?
Biomass is not leaving, it's only
So
entering.
yes, biomass is only entering into the system. So in this case, I mean this biomass which is 150 degrees C and if some conditions are provided, definitely it will be carrying some energy. It comes in, it gets heated with the help of like steam, and steam is heating up, and at the end of the day it is not leaving out of the system. So definitely this is again also an open system because biomass is getting in but it is not leaving, so it becomes unsteady. So you will be treating it as an unsteady state energy balance system. Clear? So now actually this content was included in the chapter 9 of your textbook, but as I already told you that for covering the energy balance I was using chapter 7 of the other book, which is your reference book, and which is I think this chapter is more organized and more clearly presented in this text instead of your textbook in the book of Felder, which I already sent you the message on WhatsApp. So I think you guys have already seen that. So I will advise you here